Foley has really gone to a new level. So she was on Morning Ireland today, and I had to listen to her dribble. So I could understand what she's going to do about the education system that's literally going to collapse. It's literally on the verge of collapse. It's literally on its last legs. Here in Cavan, basically, not a hope after Christmas that they can stay open, the schools. In other words, they can't get any teachers to save their lives. Literally, they're out begging on social media for teachers. They're literally going around and asking people that are not even qualified would they take over the class, would they get somebody in for the class, because they literally haven't got the teachers. And Norma Foley today, the only thing I could gather from anything she said about what she was going to do and everything like that, again, nothing was ever asked. She was asked questions, she didn't answer them. She never asked us any questions. The only thing she said was schools are safe, right? And she's been saying that, like, literally, that's the only thing she's ever said. Schools are safe, and there's nothing ever said what she's going to do about people who don't have bus tickets. I could go on. I could really go on. There's children at home that need extra help, and there's children with special needs. I know of an incident in County Monaghan with a child who has special needs, and he has an SNA. He usually has an SNA. That SNA has gone to a classroom now, and he has to basically stay at home because he hasn't got extra help, and the mother and father have to stay at home with him. And again, this is what Norma Foley has done. Again, nobody else is to blame but Norma Foley. Because I remember a few back a month ago, Norma Foley said everything's fine, there won't be a crisis or anything like that. Everything's great, everything's dandy, what situation? And then it just exploded from there. So again, it's a complete incompetence. And I don't know what it is. Like, it's Norma Foley not care. Like, really, I don't think she's out for money or anything like that. I think she's just out to physically destroy people from the inside out. Because that's what she's really been doing. Like, whatever about Stephen Downing the West, they pretend to care about people. Norma Foley's just pure, just heartless, just saying, no, I don't care about anybody. I just want to destroy everything. She's done in fairness to her, she's done a good job. She's really brought the Irish education system to its knees. I have never seen the Irish education. They always had trouble, even when I was at school and things. I had trouble finding people that were qualified, and because they were all going to other countries. But they still could make ends meet, and classes could still go ahead and things. And now the classes are falling to bits. There's no teachers. Some of the principals are off. Deputy principals are off. There's children. There's a mighty amount of children off sick. With the flu and things like that, from sitting in windows in the cold. They have the windows wide open, and people are freezing to death nearly in the classrooms. Not even not COVID, and there's people, and as soon as they have a sickness, so they're told to stay at home. Like, it's just an utter clusterfuck. Like, let's be honest, it's an utter clusterfuck. And to hear her on Morning Ireland this morning, and the only thing, and I literally, as somebody put it on Twitter, it's not good for your mental health listening to Norma Foley. It is really not good for your health listening to her early in the morning. Listening to her at any stage is not good for your health, but listening to her this morning, it's like you literally would rather have somebody going down with their nails to the chalkboard, because it's just pain. It's just absolute pain listening to her. Like, literally, I have pain in my head listening to her whenever she comes on, because she makes no sense. She just talks utter shite. Like, I've never seen such a person that can literally talk shite 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and utterly say nothing useful. Like, she talking shite there, and she basically said nothing useful. The only thing I could gather was schools are safe, and that's all they said. And then 5 minutes later, Norma Foley, again, they must just not like her. Nobody must like her. Neffet must not like her, anything like that, regardless of anything else. But the Neffet came out and said we never said schools were safe and things like that. Basically just shadowing Norma Foley's assumption for the last year or so that schools were safe, and and again, I asked this question to the Department of Education last year. If schools are safe, then why is the need for mask wearing in secondary level, or why is the need for hand washing and things like that if schools are safe and things like that? And again, that's a reasonable question to ask. Why, if schools are safe, as Norma Foley declares? But yeah, there's not much need at the end of the day, because COVID's still going to spread no matter what. And again, we have to just learn to live with it, and that's the end of the day. That's what we have to live. We have to try and just put it straight that we can't be going around with masks for the rest of our life. And we can't be just going around with hand sanitizer and X, Y, and Z. That's just ridiculous. If we're doing that for the rest of our lives, we might as well be dead at that stage. Because we have to live our lives. Like, that's not living your life. That's more or less just running around in circles and hoping that the circle doesn't go smaller and smaller. But yeah, it's just a pure disaster. And again, the worst person you could ever get to, I like, again, she's really, really has took And I seen a lot of education ministers in my time. I thought Joe McHughes, the last Minister of Education before number 40, and I even said I thought he was the worst. By God, I was proven wrong, and I really say that by God, I was proven wrong. Um, like, I don't know. I really just don't know. Like, it's mind boggles me that she's on 100,000 a year. She has advisors telling her what to do, and she still can't do anything right. And especially now with Nefford basically set threw her under the bus. Like number 40 last week threw the parents under the bus and threw the children under the bus, blaming them for having birthday parties. Number 40 just threw them all under the bus. And now that Nefford's thrown her under the bus, like it's just like what, what is this country? What is this reality? Like, let's be honest here. What is this reality that we live in? It's just madness. Like, it's just constant. It makes no sense, and I keep saying it, but it doesn't make any sense. It's just craziness, and especially number 40's version of things. Honest to God, fairies. Like, she's away with the fairies. Like, honest to God. So yeah, take care, everybody.